Hello, myself Ramakrishna. Here basically we are discussing about the road city creation. In this basically we are discussing about that matrix basically. Assume basically this is Earth planet basically. Like this basically Earth planet is. Assume basically. Few people say that Earth planet is like this basically. Assume that Earth planet basically is like this. Just taking as an example basically. It might be something else also basically. Assume that basically this side basically, just taking as an example basically, India. This is the India basically. And Earth, this is universe basically. Assume that this is universe. Here Earth planet basically is moving in this roadmap. This is roadmap basically. Now basically assume that basically here basically I am just taking the example of India basically. In India basically assume that buildings are there. Trees are there. Vehicles are there. $100 crore commercial complex are there. Then basically road are there. $100 crore population are there. Just taking as an example, this is all a rough number basically, it's not a real number. Like laptop, like all electrics are there. Electrics item basically. Then schools are there. So this is one simple construction basically, which is basically done in India basically, right? We will save this also. Assume that basically this construction basically is in India basically. So assume that basically these are the 100 buildings basically. This. So these all are the 100 buildings basically. And in this basically, these 100 buildings basically are getting balancing data basically. That is, earthquake is not supposed to happen. That data from nuclear and power companies. Nuclear and power companies basically. This is one thing. Then basically the lava groups are also giving the data. This is one other thing. Then basically satellites groups are controlling it basically. This is another thing. Then the Rocky Talkie groups controlling it basically. This is one thing. Now basically this is basically the sequence of earthquakes basically. That stable data basically, that is earthquake is not going to happen. Now assume that basically this is the sequence, right? Basically this is the sequence of balancing basically. This is the sequence of balancing basically. Then it was the DS basically. This is the sequence of balancing. This is the sequence of balancing basically. So in this basically what happens, that basically the earthquakes happens. So from this basically assume that which is the powerful sequence basically. Powerful sequence means if this sequence is basically in 100 basically buildings, earthquake will never happen. If this sequence is there in 100 building, sequence will never happen. If this is in 100 building, sequence will never happen. If this is sequence basically never happens building basically. So he told that basically mostly powerful basically are satellites only. But satellite also basically sometime leave the control basically. Why? Because that basically are connected with the set of planets basically. If planets basically attracts the satellite basically, then satellite also basically leaves the control. So one of the person told that basically satellite is the highest basically, right? Satellite basically is the highest. That basically we assume basically that. After that basically the highest might be the Rocky Talkie. Reason Rocky Talkie is created from, assume that this building, that sequence basically I told basically. And that is basically connected with the physical location, and that is connected with the physical locations are connected with the energy power company and the nuclear power company, and that energy basically the nuclear power companies are connected with the satellites. Like this, so much power basically is there in the Rocky Talkie basically. It's not like that basically directly it's connected basically. Then basically this group basically, these groups are basically always there basically. Then the lava groups is always there basically. These all are the groups basically. These all are the groups, and these all are the sequence basically which is created basically. And this sequence is created by set of groups basically, and that sequence basically are created basically. So one of the person told that how basically the sequence are created basically. That satellite group is highest, this, that basically. That basically need to check basically. So next video basically we are going to discuss that only.